1.4%. That would be alright. 1.4%. That would be alright. Let's make some noise.
I just want to ask all of you why you're striking today and what the strike means for you.
We got a 1.4% pay rise this year, which is actually a real terms pay cut. The cost of inflation has gone way above that, so we're getting less for our money these days. So we're out just saying that, you know, we're doing a lot more for a lot less at the moment, particularly with the restructuring that's going on. There's lots of jobs that are being sort of cut by the way people are leaving and they're not being replaced. And then everybody else is picking up that work in their place. So, we're just out to say that, you know, we support students in our jobs, but we can't do that effectively if we're not paid properly and we don't have the manpower that we need.
Yeah. And of course you're feeling unsupported by the university. They've just had a huge project down in the city centre.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's making you feel really unappreciated at work. What do you want to see support-wise from students, from other professors?
We'd love to see people coming to join the rallies, supporting us on the picket lines, and we'd love to have a bit more of a response from senior management at the university.
And I've seen a few posters flagging up the Vice-Chancellor. She's been receiving pay rises completely disproportionately to you guys. How do you feel about that, and are you wanting a response from her?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they're on another level, really, and they don't understand where we're coming from, they don't understand our experience. And so, this is us telling them that they really need to listen and they need to start taking us seriously. We do so much work for the university, and the university couldn't run without professional services staff. It just couldn't. They're just so out of touch with our experiences. So hopefully this will force them to listen.
I mean, you guys are the backbone to university. The libraries wouldn't run without you, the day-to-day systems. Would you mind going through all your individual jobs just so students can see how it's all connected?
I'm an exec assistant in the School of Economics, so I do a lot of academic support, all the workshops and research and things like that they do. We, book all the catering, we do all the room bookings. None of that would happen without us there.
Yeah, so I'm a student support manager, so I directly support students who all throughout their studies. Our roles are actually being cut as well at the moment, so that means less support for students.
And I mean, I think Bristol tries to pride itself on its well-being, and it clearly doesn't seem to be replicated where you guys are working, so hopefully we can see some change here. Thank you very much.
Hello, who am I here with?
Hi, I'm Verity.
Hi Verity, nice to meet you. So could you tell me a bit about the fixed term contracts then that the University of Bristol is offering or has?
Yeah, so fixed term contracts are basically replacing all of the open-ended contracts at the moment, so usually 6 months to a year at a time, which is, can be useful but is pretty detrimental for staff because for example, lots of estate agents won't rent to people with fixed-term contracts, which obviously has a really big effect on people and whether they can live. And just that uncertainty of not knowing whether your job's going to be renewed in 6 months to a year's time.
How long have you been working at the university for?
So I've worked for the university since 2022, so about 4 years now.
How does this strike personally affect you?
It's really exciting to be involved in something where so many of us are coming together to kind of fight against the quite insulting pay offer and then the other working conditions like the fixed term contracts and restructuring that's really affecting people. We live in quite worrying times anyway, and the lack of security is very much affecting people.
It's nice to see so many people out supporting the cause. One of the things that I found interesting on the leaflet was saying that 24% pay rise over the last 10 years or something in higher education pay, but then rent prices in Bristol have increased by something like 200%.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
quite shocking to hear.
It is, and the feels like lack of understanding from senior management and those managing the kind of finances saying no, just don't seem to really understand the real life impact of those statistics. They just think, oh, it'll be, it's up to you to figure it out, but it shouldn't really be.
I've heard quite mixed things about the university being financially well off, considering they've opened a campus in Mumbai and they're opening the new Temple Meads course, which costs £500 million. How does that make you feel? Does that feel particularly insulting that the staff have only been offered 1.4%?
Yeah, I think they should be prioritising current and existing staff who already work really hard for the university. To have them say, oh no, we haven't got money to help you and support you, but we do for these other new projects, is quite a bit of a slap in the face, really.
Yeah. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Verity. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Hey, who am I here with?
Mia.
And Mia, could you tell me a bit about the agency staff in the library then? I've been hearing a bit about this.
Yeah, of course. So as you can see, most of our library staff are on strike. So there's actually no staff staffing the library.
Right.
But our senior management have brought in a third-party agency staff to staff the library, essentially. So these are the people that provide security overnight, usually, in Assel. But that we're like looking into what loophole they've done this under, basically, because it is illegal to bring in agency staff to cover striking work. So yeah, we think that they're maybe going to say, because we already work with them, it's fine for them to cover today. But yeah, it isn't their usual duties, and that's the law states that they can't cover like usual duties of workers, so, and that is what they're doing. So
one thing that I was told yesterday is that some of the senior staff in the library had said that the striking staff were intimidating people to go into the library.
Yeah, our director did come out and say that again this morning when there were about 3 people here, and he hasn't come back out. We were hoping to talk to him again. But yeah, apparently we're intimidating students, which I don't think is the case, because students were coming up and we were having constructive conversations, and the students are very understanding of our fight, because it is the same struggle that we've got.
So who is it that is striking here today then? Could you tell me?
So it's the university's professional services staff, not like lecturers, but a lot of behind the scenes people, so library staff, and also like IT support, people that do student well-being, disability services.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. We're going to speak to some of your colleagues, but yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for the support.
So can you just tell me what the strike means for you and kind of what you're looking to project from it?
Well, the last time we had a local dispute, we managed to get quite a few different things for all members of staff, obviously. So it proves that going on strike, it does work. It is unfortunate because we're all losing pay.
We don't want to be here.
And we don't want to be here. We want to be at work, you know. We miss being at work. But the fact is, 1.4%, when we know other people are getting 5%. It's not fair. We all pay the same for a loaf of bread. We pay the same for dental treatment. And I'm getting towards retirement, so I'm here for the younger people, because if they keep accepting 1.4%, they're just going to continually have their pay dropped. And we know that the money is there. Every time I get the train into Temple Meads and see this huge campus that's being built, which is amazing for Bristol University, we've also got the Isambard A1 supercomputer. I mean, that must be bringing money in for the university. So we don't want the students' fees to rise. We don't want that. But you have to invest in staff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in my experience of being on many disputes in different organisations, it is always the staff that they don't seem to want to invest in.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, without lecturers, you know, all members of staff, cleaners, lecturers, we're admin staff.
I spoke to a lady yesterday and she was telling me that it would actually be more affordable for her to quit her job and look after her child than afford childcare with the rate that she's being paid. And it's just not acceptable, and you guys work so hard. What you're doing is amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.